Alrighty, friends, here we are with DotA patch 7.22e. It is wicked late for me, but I don't care. I have to cover this patch now for the sake of YouTube because everybody searches for the patch as soon as it comes out. And for Twitch because I owe you guys that because you watch me all the time. So, diving right in, I have read none of this. Low ground miss and miss debuff chance is now pseudo-random. This is a fantastic change. It's going to make Furry's life way easier because he's the #1 person I hear complain about this. It means that if you are in mid lane, which is where I usually see this happen more because the high ground, low ground, in the river, the way mischance works, and I've read this recently, so I know 100%. So if I am on the middle of the river and you're on the middle of the river, and I shoot you with a ranged attack, and you back up to the high ground, I have a chance to miss you, even though the attack was fired when we were even ground. That's how that works. It's when the attack makes contact with the enemy, where your positional difference is. So. It comes up a lot during mid lane because the creeps get pulled up to the top. You know, the top, it means you can miss a creep for last hits or denies, and you can miss the enemy hero for harassing. The reason that sucked when it was random, like most things suck when they're random, is it's the worst when you miss many, many, many times in a row, or a lot of times close together. Or the opposite. You feel cheated when you're the one on the high ground and the enemy doesn't miss you for like 6 hits in a row. They just, like Sniper, plinks you. Plink, 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 and you die. And you're like, that's cool. Sniper didn't miss at all.
Yeah, include that with the headshots. It's headshot, 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 headshot. Can I get any worse luck here?
I'll
Yeah.
be honest, Sniper's the worst example because he has the range and he can technically shoot you from across the river. Anyway.
No, I know. I'm just saying when he does chase you, because sometimes you'll be out of range, but he'll walk into the river to continue his chase.
He doesn't actually have that until after level 5 or so.
Level 3 is enough. Usually it's enough.
I was just noting for example. The point is, this is a big change, and I think pseudo-random is almost always the way to go, so I really like this. Stout Shield no longer stacks. This is particularly trying to stop Axe.
Darkseer as well. They've been doing it with Darkseer as well.
I think this is a great change. I thought it was stupid that Axe could buy 2 shields. It changed it from... So the effective change here is that you would spend 200 gold and get a 50% chance to block 20 damage. If you spent another 200 gold, you would effectively get a 75 chance to block 20 damage. Which I know its marginal value is decreased because you spend the same gold for a lesser increase. But at that point, Axe has a 75% chance to block 20 damage on every single attack, and since he cuts all the time, that was kind of too strong. So I like this change a lot. It's going to hurt the Axe cutting strategy, so what happened... You were there for that game, right? Furry, when Axe cut top, that was Void?
Yeah.
We played a game off stream. We played a few games off stream today. We won all of them. Ranked, too. So that would have been even less of a problem, because Axe actually would have died to me, because he went and tried to dive me under tower at, like, level 6 or something, and I chased him off with bashes. He would have had less health because the creeps would have hurt him more as with the tower. So this is a really big change to those heroes. Chain lightning damage was reduced from 160 to 150. This actually makes the Mjolnir upgrade even more important because Mjolnir does 170 on proc, I believe. Someone can confirm that if they want, but I'm almost positive it does. So now the difference is 20 instead of 10, making the upgrade even more important. This also reduces the farming potential because the way that it works out is if you're fighting 4 creeps... Well, fighting 1 creep, whatever. You fight 1 creep, the chance was 25% chance to deal 150 magical damage. And so you work that out, that 1/4 of 150, of course, is roughly 37 or something. I don't know. I'm just estimating. 37 average damage added onto a single creep, and when you have multiple creeps, then of course you have to add that together, that you're going to actually do, you know, because there's multiple creeps to bounce off, it's more. So the marginal value of Maelstrom went down because it's less total damage spread across a creep wave, like jungle creeps, and you pay the same for it. So it's actually a worse farming item overall. It's not dramatic by any means, but it is a way to bring it more into line with other farming items. This means that the Mask of Madness, comparatively, might be a better option on some heroes when it wasn't as good of an option before, because now comparatively is better, but not necessarily. It really does depend on the hero. Curse of Avernus initial debuff increased from 4 to 5 seconds. So that means the amount of times he gets to hit you 4 times, right? Is that how that works? No, sorry. Okay, when he hits you, it slows you. So that initial slow lasts a second longer. Got it. It also gives longer for the 4 hits, right? Because unlike Slardar, they have to happen.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't have any timed thing on it. I'm pretty sure it's just if you get hit 4 times with it.
Right, but I think the
Yes, but
debuff has to be on you.
it's a debuff time. The debuff.
Oh
time
right,
is
yeah. My bad.
Right, so
So it basically allows you to hit more often, basically, proc it more often.
it means that they can get away from you for a little longer and they're still slowed and you have more time to
It's a
hit them
laning
again.
skill. It's just for laning, but I still take the Q and W.
No, it's better for chasing too, because if you hit somebody, you have an extra second to hit them to keep the slow on them and to maintain that the curse might happen. Because getting away from Abaddon for 4 seconds before meant that the debuff ends and his stacks towards curse end with it. So now it's an extra second.
If you get more damage out of your Q, you get more protection out of your W. Why would you want to go your E anyway?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this gives you some potential in chasing in the late game or something. It's just a stronger across the board.
Just it's just buffing it as a lane skill at the moment. That's not what I feel like.
I'm just saying that in general in the late games, so Yules last
Late
about 2
game-wise,
seconds.
it might work.
So
But
Yules
late
used to
game-wise,
time
it
out
might
half of Curse of Avernus' duration. You know, it purges you, but whatever. Like, I'm taking a different example. Heaven's Halberd. You Heaven's Halberd Abaddon, which is what, a 3.5 second?
Yeah, melee is 3.5 seconds.
3.5 seconds. You prevent him from attacking you. So before, that was basically the entirety of Curse. So he's hitting you. You have 3 hits on you. You Heaven's Halberd. Now he can't apply the Curse for 3.5 seconds. And before, basically, Curse is over. As long as he can't hit you the second that the disarm ends, then you're done. No silence. Now he has an extra second on top of that to get the silence reapplied.
Honestly, I still don't think it solves the kiting problem with that skill. Like, people with blinks, people with escapes, people with phase boots that are faster than him does not help. Heaven's Halberd is never going to be applied to him unless he's a carry, because they'll put it on someone else. Like
No, I know. I'm just saying an example is that it does get better.
I know it's an example. I know what you mean, but I feel the skill is not very strong.
It's going to be, as a support, it's going to feel impossible to get away is what I'm saying. Because you're going to have that 25% slow for an extra second.
Some people will get Glimmer Kit, some people will get 4-star, some people will get Yules. I still don't see it really.
Well, Yule still solves the problem, but I'm just saying, I think it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Alright,
AA is slower again. Lol.
I'm gonna cut in for a sec here and say I apologize, but I need to go to bed because of work tomorrow.
Go ahead.
Alright,
Alright,
see you in
see
thirty.
ya.
AA's moon speed was reduced again, which is so funny to me. I think it's that's so pain. I think
It's a pretty okay support. That's probably why.
yeah, I don't know. That's pain though. That's really painful. He's so gankable now. He's so slow. And the 25 talent for AoE Cold Feet was reduced the radius.
So basically, it just increased the cap for positioning for AA. That's all it is.
I think it's a pretty big nerf. I think AA is going to see less play, honestly. Move speed's a lot in Dota, especially considering that he buys a percentage-based move item, which is Yules. He buys it sometimes.
It's still not going to stop people from him picking against Morphling or...
No, he's still a counter picker for some heroes like Alchemist and Morphling. I'm just saying that... Huskar. I'm just saying that besides those counters, he's becoming less universally good. So if you're not playing him to counter those heroes, there's probably better options in a lot of cases. Lower the talent for bore damage. That's necessary considering the fact that he can spam the crap out of his axes and make them do unreasonable damage anyway.
He's still one of the stronger.
Yeah, he'll still be strong. This was needed though.
He kills support so easily with 2 balls and he just run down support so easily.
Ooh, Bloodseeker. Blood rate cooldown was reduced at all to be its best at all levels. That's not huge because you don't usually level it in lane, but it's just a quality of life thing. It's what?
A 1.1, sorry.
You
just grab it early 1 level. That's about it.
Yeah, it's just nice for Bloodseeker when he's. You can play support Bloodseeker better now. Obviously, I'm not saying you should, but you can.
Why would you?
No, it's doable. He has a big team fight alt. He has a big AoE silence. You just have to buy support items on him. You play more of a caster Bloodseeker, and you could play it as like a either like an offlaner or something. Not saying we'll see that in pro games, but you could do it. I don't know. I don't think this changes his kit that much. It's just kind of cool. Bounty Hunter, my man! Base damage increased by 3. Oh, I'm gonna hate playing against bounties. Ah, that's so good though.
My man, I thought you hate Bounty Hunter.
I love playing as him. I'm gonna ban the crap out of him, but that's nice. Better denying, better last hitting. It's gonna make him a bigger presence in lane. Easier to kill supports, because that 3 damage matters a lot when you're hitting an AA or a Crystal Maiden. That's nice. Even when he ults, just extra damage for the crit. Hoof Stomp cooldown. Ouch. Ooh, that's a big nerf.
Yeah.
Early game Hoof Stomp sucks now. One of the big reasons Centaur's a good offlaner is because he has Hoof Stomp all the time, just to make sure in case he gets initiated on, he can get out.
Honestly, this just puts double edge to the back even more, because usually people just max retaliate with one level Hoof Stomp, one level double edge, and then they decide whether they want more double edge or more Hoof Stomp. But now
It's going to be easier to gank him now. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I would still take Hoof Stomp as a second skill as max, by the way.
Agree. I'm just saying that in general, I think that this is going to make him a really...
It doesn't affect his late game. It's just his laning phases now. Whew.
Well, laning phase and mid game. You have to remember that he's not going to get level 4 Hoof Stomp until the mid game.
You might even consider maxing it over Retaliate, but Retaliate is still too strong. I feel
Maybe. Shen, why nerfed again? Oh my gosh.
He's still strong. He's good at ganking lanes.
He is good at ganking lanes. Base damage reduced by 4 is dramatic. Like, oh my god. Farming is hard. Ganking is hard. Pushing is harder.
Why farm when with your own base damage when you can just grab creeps?
No, I know, but you add to that. You affect it too because you hit while they're hitting.
Yeah, true, but most of the time Chen doesn't bother with them. They get like a certain creep. Fair enough, Chen is going to be nerfed again and again and again until pros stop playing it, literally, then they stop nerfing it.
They need to nerf his summonable units then. That's the real thing that would hurt him.
They have done that with the Aura before, so...
Oh well. I think this is cool. Darkseer Iron Shell damage was reduced at earlier levels. It's not a huge change. It's just nice. It just makes it easier to lane.
It's a normal nerf. Darkseer gets nerfed every day.
Yeah, it's just because it's annoying to play against Iron Shell because of how much damage it does. It's just nice to see that in lane, if you're like Sven, you don't die.
That's the only spell they haven't really nerfed properly, because they nerfed Surge, they nerfed Vacuum. Now they're finally touching on Iron Shell, so...
I knew it. I knew the Ags was too strong on Death Prophet even though I don't play her.
Okay, here's the thing. I have been banning Death Prophet every game when I played with you guys. I banned her every time.
Yeah, because Ags is stupid.
I might consider not banning her, because this is what you do in Death Prophet, by the way. Buy Yules, and then you buy straight Ags. You win games quite easily in pubs. I'm not sure about pro games, but in pubs, it just destroys. I might still consider banning her, but maybe not as often. But she's still too strong with that Ag.
So the change here is that spirits do 58 damage. So instead of doing 116, they do 13 less. So about 100.
Duly noted that those spirits also slow you as well as...
No, I know, they do a lot. I'm just saying that's what they lost.
And steal health, by the way. So.
They lost about 13 to 16 damage. And that is off units that will life drain you. So that's actually pretty considerable. So this is a nice nerf. I still think she might be strong, but that actually does matter.
I'm still banning that.
Because the reason exorcism is strong is because if she silences the whole team, 5 of those come out.
Yes.
Now all 5 of them do less damage, and that's all reduced on the lifesteal too.
I mean, remember, it's not just her silence; it's a Q as well.
I know. I'm just saying an example. So like,
siphon.
A small nerf like this is gonna affect more than it looks like because of how many spirits she sends out.
Still gonna ban it.
Drow. 550 gust knockback, distance and knockback changed to 30% gust mischance. I think that's way better. I hated the gust knockback. I just thought it wasn't valuable enough because of the fact that it was like cool, but like pushing them back never felt like it was enough anyway. Mischance. Mischance is really cool. And the agility went up. So I think they're both good talents. I definitely can see Mischance being important.
It was always agility before, and I think you still stick with agility for the fact that you still get the agility is given to the...
Depends on the hero, but depends on the hero for sure.
Yeah, but I still would choose it over it because you don't forget, precision aura affects creeps as well, so you do split push a lot harder.
No, I know. I just mean the mischance against a certain lineup could be pretty dramatic.
And who doesn't like base attack speed and armor, extra armor as well, and damage?
Sleight of Fist can no longer be used while rooted. Rip. Good.
I'll be honest, it was stupid.
It was stupid. Exactly. It was stupid that you could do that. All of those kinds of abilities you couldn't do while rooted, but you could Sleight of Fist.
You remnant. I understand remnant because it is a counter, but then Sleight of Fist, it just defeats the purpose of remnant.
You can't remnant while rooted.
Yeah, I know. They remember they nerfed it. Like they gave
Yeah.
it like anything that roots. Basically, you can't use remnant like static.
Yeah.
Like storm spirit ult. Why is it that he can be able to do slight?
This is a huge nerf. Honestly, this might make Ember Spirit significantly less played at high levels.
I mean, oh no, you still play him, but it's just that you might consider now buying a BKB or a Lincoln.
Well, the problem with that is that it changes the build that he uses, and the fact that Ember can be so greedy
he
sometimes.
can't go full damage. He cannot go full damage anymore.
So some of the reason that Ember's a good hero is because he can buy greedy damage, with very little survivability because of his kit. Now he has to buy more survivability, which might make him a less efficient hero.
I mean, this is what the skill builds are. I mean, item builds these days is like freaking drums,
Veil
drums into Maelstrom, or Veil into Maelstrom into Ags, basically.
Yeah.
And then from there, they build damage like Data.
Now you're gonna need either a Manta or a BKB.
I think you need a BKB and Lincolns. The main thing is Manta helps, but if there are multiple sources of root, then you will BKB.
No, well, you can do it fast. You can use your Remnant in the middle of BKB's invulnerability in theory.
Fair enough, but if there's, let's say, for example, Silencer, what you call global silencers, you use Manta, but then you get rooted by a CN, for example.
In theory, they should not be able to react to when you Manta exactly as easily as, like, in theory, according to human reaction, there's no way they should reliably be able to hit both of those abilities and plan to hit after Manta, because you Manta on your own accord and then immediately hit your ult button. Like, literally immediately.
I mean,
you go,
nice
click. Yeah, no, it definitely,
I mean,
it makes Ember buy another survivability item. He wouldn't have wanted to buy one before, but now he has to. He literally has to buy something.
It does tone down the bullshit Ember's been doing recently. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a
Absolution,
significant nerf.
Of all people, you should ask Absolution. He plays a lot of Ember mid, so...
I used to play Ember mid. I know what it's like. I mean, I didn't often
I'm
with
saying in recent times, in recent patches, you haven't been playing Ember mid with Ags, have you?
With Ags, no, not since the Ags change. I'm just saying that I think
so
this is going to make him significantly less played.
Of all people, you should ask his Absolution because he plays mid and he plays Ember, so there you go.
Midnight Pulse's damage was reduced back to what it used to be. It used to be that before, I'm pretty sure. Okay? It's just to stop an Enigma from comboing with a lot of heroes and just killing strength heroes, I guess. Because it affects strength heroes more than anybody else. It's fine. I don't think it's like a dramatic change, but it definitely does hurt. Grimstroke base damage reduced by 2. Good, he's such a strong hero. Soulbind no longer reduces movement speed by 10. It doesn't slow you at all?
Nope.
They nerfed it from 10, 20, 30 to 10, and then there's no movement speed slow. Wow.
I find it stupid if they did, to be fair, because you can BKB and then you can get what you call Grimstroke, the soul bind, and you still walk so freaking slow that you can't catch up to anyone. So it's a quality of life buff.
That is a gigantic nerf. Gigantic.
I say it's a balance nerf though, because if you're BKB and you still get latched to someone, you're not moving anywhere.
Well, now imagine I'm trying to think of a fast support. I'm Coddle. I get bound to Sven. Before it's like, well, neither of us can move now, which sucks. But now it's like, let's run. Either in or out, doesn't matter. Let's move.
You have to run together, though. You remember that.
No, I know, but like, it's a big deal. Sven moves fast because he has Warcry.
It's not too much for the support. It's more for carries with BKBs. Because you do that to carries with BKBs, they can't move like crap. And if they're solo, because what Grimstroke can do is that if a carry is chasing your carry and your carry is about to die, and he has BKB on, you drop the ult on the carry that's being chased. Like for example, you have an A.
I understand. I'm just saying it applies to everybody. Like yes, it matters for BKB heroes. It matters for everybody. Everybody got slowed, and it sucked because it was a 8-second slow on the heroes that it hits, which was dramatic. You know what I mean?
That might not be much, but it is actually the literally a life or death whether your hero dies or the hero doesn't.
So this is dramatic. Honestly, I think Grimstroke is going to see significantly less play.
He's still going to be played.
He's still okay. He's not terrible. He's just not amazing.
He's still pretty strong. I mean, if you need a line comp, so you basically need single target heroes to go with him. His ult is still useful because you can still get double dooms, double Lina ults. You can get double rolls.
Well, that's what I mean. He's going to fall into a niche pick when it only fits the team as they are.
Technically, well, niche pick by saying that a lot of the popular heroes are still around. You can still drop it on. What's his third skill again, by the way?
What I mean is Grimstroke was a good support even without the combos for his ult, realistically speaking, before. You only need like one or two abilities that were like, okay, that was all you really needed. Grimstroke was still pretty good. Now you need them.
No, I mean you pick it with the popular carries like Juggernaut, Ursa. You just drop the E on them. Do you know Juggernaut spin? By the way, if you drop the E before he spins, it still triggers. By the way, so still a good hero.
Interesting. IO. Tether heal and restore transfer was reduced.
That's enough. Who are you?
Just early game. Just to stop IO from instantly helping people survive in lane.
It's another hero that gets nerfed every patch, pretty much.
Yeah, I think it's needed. I think he heals too much in the early game, so I like this. Oh, look, Drevel will be happy. He was just complaining about this. Juggernaut's Blade
What,
Fury.
spin?
Yeah, he thinks spin is the most ridiculous ability ever. It reduced the damage early.
It's there, but early game is just reduced. That's not.
It's by 5.
Damage is nothing.
It's 5 at all levels, but last level.
He's
I mean,
still
whatever.
gonna be picked because Juggernaut is one of the safest carries ever, literally.
It's 25 total damage off of levels 1, 2, and 3. Not stacking, but total. Like.
I mean, he's got 4 skills. One is inbuilt immunity, one is inbuilt sustain, one's inbuilt damage with the crits, and one is inbuilt, escapability as well as burst. So, still the safest.
I don't think this is a dramatic change, but yeah, it hurts his early game kill potential.
It doesn't, not too much. You're still gonna kill people with combos. You get a Lion, you get a Shackle, a Shadow Shaman, or you get the Grimstroke. You're still gonna kill them with spin.
Finally, Lich is kind of okay now. Honestly, I never see Liches at any level that I watch. He's just
Lich is only good against it with a trialing, I think.
Yeah, he just wasn't that good. But base increased by 2. That's spell amp, that's damage, that's mana pool, that's mana regen. And Sinister Gaze cooldown. It's finally at a reasonable cooldown. Like, it had the most ridiculous cooldown for the ability that it was. Like, yeah, Sinister Gaze is a good spell, but like, it's crazy. It's crazy what the cooldown was before. It's actually almost okay now. Like, I would never take Sinister Gaze in lane pretty much at all, honestly.
I would take maybe...
Now I would.
I mean, before you might, but you would still max your W over your...
Yeah, I wouldn't max it, but I would definitely take a point, like level 2.
Yeah. I usually you would, because that's your only stun, though. You would get 1 level of it early, and you won't use it in lane ever, unless...
They move on you.
Sure people that, yeah.
Yeah, well, you're a support character.
Or move on your cap. It's more move on your
it's
cap,
much better now,
if they move
Luna, extra stats on 20, extra lucent beam damage on 20, and life steal talent went up to 25. So the reason this matters, the extra stats are nice. It just makes her better at pushing and stuff. Lucent beam damage matters because the lucent beam damage is what her ult is based off of, which means that when she ults, that's 25 extra, 25 extra, 25 extra, 25 extra, plus spell amp and all that nonsense. So this is actually a quite big change. You're going to see a lot more Lunas who build the spell builds into Ags going nuts in team fighting games. And you're also going to see a lot of Lunas who push, just seem to push that much faster. It doesn't seem like a lot, but 2 damage, a 3rd armor, 2 attack speed, it adds up. Like, it matters. She's gonna hit harder and faster, and that's kind of the thing. This is all good. Luna kind of needed the love. Besides when she's coupled with a couple good heroes, she wasn't really like, huge except pub stomps. This is gonna make her just better in like the pro scene because she just has universal skills.
I mean, what's her other talents?
I can't hear you anymore, Falcon. You were like suddenly quiet.
Sorry, I said what's her other talents?
The lucent beam damage.
I mean, the 25 one.
Why are you so quiet suddenly?
I don't know.
You're like literally almost silent.
Am I?
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
I don't know what you did, but something got ruined. Base increase by 2 on Lycan. I guess this helps him cast more often. Whatever, that's nice. Base strength increased by 1. This is actually a big deal. Last hitting, denying, survivability in lane. Shapeshift critical strike is now pseudo-random. Good. Everything should be pseudo-random. So he won't just suddenly crit you 4 times in a row. Or none at all. His talent for feral HP regen went up. That's actually really big.
How about now?
Like, that's huge.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No?
No, you're super quiet.
I have no idea, I'll be honest.
Oh, wait. It might have been on my end.
Oh, okay. How? What do you do?
I have a microphone setting on the back, volume setting on the back of my headset, so the stream can't hear that. So if I mute it, like they don't know it's muted. They can still hear everything, but I can't. I don't remember touching it, but I must have went to inch by ear, and I might have accidentally touched it.
Okay, whatever. So I was just looking at the level 25 talents as well.
For Luna?
You still, yeah. The mini stun is nice though.
It goes well together with the new 20 on Lucent Beam.
Yeah, so I don't know about the lifesteal because you're gonna get Satanic anyway, so. Okay.
It's in case you don't want to go a Satanic build. It's just an option. I don't often take it, but it does stack too. It basically means that nobody can fight Luna in a straight fight. If she gets Satanic and that, you can't.
Where are you now, by the way?
Lycan. The ints, whatever. The strength is just nice. Shapeshift pseudo-random is freaking wonderful. The Feral HP regen is probably never the pick, to be honest. I just don't think...
What's the other option?
It's the cooldown reduction. You need your ult as often as possible. Yeah. It's more tempting though.
Because it does affect what you call your unit as well. So it does affect your wolves.
It would help with the push if you have Ags.
I mean, Ags is shit, man. No one ever buys Lycan Ags. It's horrible.
So here's the thing. It's not great, but it serves a purpose. The purpose is to push naturally without having to be there. That's the point. So if you make them regen more, they push better.
I mean, basically they last longer. That's what it probably is.
Yeah, it just makes the pushing better by itself.
So yeah, so basically your necrobooks don't instantly die after one push. You can push further. I don't think you'll ever get Ags on Lycan because it's just a bad item overall because the wolves are summoned randomly. Number one, number two is only 2 wolves per lane. Either lane could be any.
I think they need to. I think they need to buff it. I'm just saying as an idea.
They need to change it. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever buy Lycan Ags.
But that goes into it. The feral HP regen would benefit.
It does, but I wouldn't. I would still think it's okay. But I still like cooldown overall because.
Yeah, me too. Feral damage impulse. Feral impulse damage went up. That's just nice.
That's nice.
I mean, the 8-second shapeshift duration is usually better, but if they don't have a lot of lockdown or speed, you don't really need the extra duration because you're using it to run away. You think what?
Yeah, you're gonna. I think Lycan win rates are gonna go up in higher level play.
Yeah, a fighting Lycan versus like a split pushing Lycan is gonna take the feral impulse damage.
Yeah.
A split pushing Lycan probably wants a shapeshift duration because you need to run away for longer without like worrying about the CC.
I'll be honest, you can get to say shapeshift in fighting as well because you have the crits for longer and you have max move speed for longer.
No, of course, but the feral impulse is percentage damage.
Your shapeshift crits also apply to your units as well, include your wolves, your necrobooks. So potentially, instead of let's say killing 2 supports in a team fight, you can potentially kill 2 supports and probably a core and a half if you have the duration.
I know. I'm just saying there is options here. Base int increased by 3 on Mirana. Thank you, my girl. I was just playing her, and I would have really appreciated that int. Sacred Arrow cooldown went up at first level, but down at later levels. That's dramatic. Like, I mean, base damage increased by 30 at earlier levels, and scaling back to normal. That Mirana's win rate is about to go up. Guaranteed.
Yeah, but no one maxes the arrow until much later. Anyway.
No, right, so here's the thing. Base int increase of 3 at earlier levels means easier casting to roam. So she's going to be able to throw more arrows, more whatever.
No, less arrows, by the way, because cooldown. Don't forget that.
By 1 second. She's going to be able so I'm not saying throw more arrows at the same time. I mean, like, go to a lane, throw an arrow, go to another lane, throw an arrow, without having to regen as much mana. She has a bigger mana pool. So that's big, in the mana regen. And it does more damage from Spell Amp, because she has 3 more int. The base damage went up at first level, so that's 30 more damage just off the bat. So if you get hit with a Mirana arrow at level 1, that's 30 extra damage right off the bat, with no need for distance or anything. It's just 30 damage. Plus 3 for Spell Amp.
You know what? The base intelligence, I feel, doesn't really buff Sacred Arrow as much as you think. I say it buffs Starfall more.
Of course it does.
Yeah,
the damage is more in Starfall.
It's a skill shot. You hit it or you don't hit it. You might not even hit it at all. So it's a pretty.
No, I'm just saying I play Mirana, and the big problem is your mana pool. Your mana pool is increased, so you can use Sacred Arrow more often. You can use Starfall more often.
Once you get drums, technically your mana pool is okay after that.
Okay, but now it's good. Like 3 int matters.
Okay, still 3 is alright. Still, you still need mana.
So this is a big change. I think you're gonna see more of that. Morphling base armor reduced by 1. That really hurts Morphling in lane a lot. He cannot trade nearly as well. Morph Scepter no longer reduces cooldowns by 30%, 35%. Good. It shouldn't have in the first place. Morph Scepter now allows ally targeting. So I'm sure they changed that talent.
Yes.
Now instead it's 15% cooldown reduction. So you can still have cooldown reduction and ally targeting. However, the cooldown reduction is significantly less, and you have to wait till level 20, and it's not contingent on your farm.
Okay, so here's the thing. Morph used to be able to copy with Egg used to be able to copy Dark Willow with the X buff basically, and basically he's in
forever.
He's in the realm. He can be in the realm forever, and he has the full range as well, and he has the bonus damage as well. So it was a little bit too obnoxious. So
well, now he has to spend 4,200 gold to take Dark Willow's spell if it's on his team.
No, before he need with the X he can be in the thing forever. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, I'm saying okay. So this is what I'm saying.
It's the same thing now, but he has a period of time where he's not in bullshit.
Well, two things. You're missing one of the big points. Now, if Dark Willow is his ally, because before he buys Scepter, he can target her and has the 35% cooldown. Now, because before he needed a talent, he'd need to wait till 20 to get the morph target allies, and the Scepter allowed him to do it better. Now, if he wants to target allies, he still has to take 4,200 gold to target his own Dark Willow so that he can use the ability. And to get a cooldown reduction has to wait till 20. So there's two contingent factors for that now, which are pretty painful. And on top of that, the cooldown reduction is worse.
That's why I said this is a really hard nerf for Morph, but I think he still can be seen. But
he's definitely still playable. It just kind of hurts the morph aspect of his hero.
It might reduce his popularity because his popularity is always going up anyway.
Yeah, the base armor is really painful. And the cooldown reduction was pretty big for Morph. Support Morph is way worse now, too. Support Morph could be a thing because...
Why would you play Support Morph when you can just go carry and one-shot 2-3 people?
If you didn't have a spot for a carry, a Support Morph was very viable.
Play Support Morph, play something else. Support Morph is horrible.
It's not. I swear it's not.
It
is now.
Horrible. It's not horrible, but I still think it's wasted potential.
So here's the thing. You have one of the biggest stuns in the game. You're always tanky. You have an escape, an initiation... And when you have Morph, you can take stuns from the enemy team.
Initiation. I much prefer better supports.
No, I'm just saying people did it. That's what I'm telling you. Like he has one of the best lane sustains in the game because when you're not the carry, you can easily back up and do the Morph trick to get half health again. And on top of that, when he had the cooldown reduction, you would take the enemy's stuff for basically free. Like you're like, oh, I'm a Morphling. I'll buy a Force Staff. I'll buy like a Yules or whatever to get faster and help my team, and then you just buy an Ags. You're like, okay, I'll take their line stun, do his stun better. You can buy a Kaya, like a lot of supports do, to reduce mana costs. Like I had played it before. I played a support Morph. It totally works.
I'll be honest though, as I know it works, but I'll be honest, it's wasted potential for that.
Well, now it is. I would never do it now. The fact that you have to get to 20 to target allies, and the fact that the cooldowns is worse, I wouldn't do it.
I mean, because you have better supports like...
Now they're definitely better supports.
Because you remember that you cannot even target allies anyway before... you can target enemies and do all that kind of stuff, but you're missing a lot of things. You're missing, like, the stuns, like, the proper pushing power from Shadow Shaman that provides, and you're missing the...
No, I'm not saying he was the best, but there were times when he was a fine support pick. Not anymore.
Yeah,
ruined.
It's wasted potential.
It's gone now, so that at least simplifies the hero.
I know it's gone now, so...
Heartstopper Aura max health loss per second was increased, which is good because his ability was just not good enough.
It changed the magic damage from pure. So.
Yeah, it needs the buff, honestly. Good.
Yeah, now it does.
Intelligence gain increased on Ogre from 2.3 to 2.5. That's nice. Agility gain increased from 1.6 to 1.9. And the Bloodlust attack speed went up again. This is dramatic.
Ogre's more tanky now.
Alright, so he has a bigger mana pool, more spell amp, and mana regen. He has a little bit more armor in the long run, a little bit more attack speed in the long run, and the Bloodlust attack speed at 20 is literally the best thing in the world. Like, honestly, I already hated when Ogres took the 40 strength. Now it's inexcusable. I don't care. There's no justification for ever taking 40 strength unless you don't have a single right-clicker on your team. Like, do you have an OD? You better be taking the Bloodlust. I don't care who else, the other heroes on your team.
I mean, you should still take the Bloodlust regardless because there's going to be carries around.
Right, but if there's no right clickers, if your safe lane carry was like a... Alright, let me think. Mid Puck who doesn't go right click.
That's fine.
Off lane Timbersaw.
That's fine.
In a safe lane...
Like, tell me a safe lane, non-right clicker.
Necro who goes spell build.
That's the recipe for disaster, all I can say.
I don't like it, but if that happened and you found yourself in that Ogre game, okay, maybe the 40 strength is justified. That's
Fair
it.
Enough.
Any other team, you take the Bloodlust. And still, you can apply this to catapults.
Yes,
Like,
you can. You can apply to towers as well.
Hold on,
Only
hold on.
towers.
Ogre. What is his base? His base stupid thing. Ogre is stupid. He's over here. His base bloodlust is 60 bonus attack speed to anybody else, 90 to himself. So it's 30 extra to himself. So now it's 120 attack speed. 150 for him. 120 attack speed to a catapult. Do you know what that does? The catapult goes... You know how much damage that is to a tower?
Hold on. That sounds very wrong, by the way. Do not do that again.
It's me clapping.
I know, but it sounds very wrong.
Sorry. I'll snap.
But whatever. Just so you know, how much does Master Madness give?
Less. It's 110, I believe.
So imagine Void having that and having Master Madness as well.
We played Void and I got Alacrity from Absolution.
Oh, you got Alacrity. or even better still, if you have a Juggernaut,
110.
Omni Slash. Oh.
Like it's untenable for me to think that people are still won't be taking the Bloodlust, because I know they won't. They just think the 40 strength, like, I just don't want to die in team fights. Well, you know what? Then don't be in bad positions. Like, what do you want me to say? Take the 350 health at 15. You're fine.
I think still Ogres in pubs are still gonna go Midas, which I'm sad.
Midas is still fine sometimes. It's the most efficient Midas in the game.
But getting like 4 Midases in the game, jeez.
No. Okay, so this is what should happen. If you have an Ogre on your team, you should communicate with your carriers and say, look, I have to buy a Midas because I'm Ogre Magi and I'm the most efficient Midas carrier in the game. You guys should not be buying Midases. And then nobody else on the team should buy a Midas. The end.
Yeah, but we're talking about pubs here.
I know, I'm just saying, that's what should happen.
Do they ever listen?
This is a big buff to Ogre all the same, though. The intelligence agility is just nice, and the talent, that's so big. That is so big. Late game, if you're against an Ogre Magi, they should just be taking towers left and right, because every time there's a catapult wave, well, there goes your tower. Can you imagine there's the two catapult wave at, like, whatever, 40 minutes, coming to your tier 3s, both bloodlusted with 120 attack speed?
You can still play with Invoker and have a clarity on the catapults as well, and they start hitting harder as well.
Yeah, Alacrity, yeah, they'll instantly down the tower.
Alacrity, sorry, not clarity.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Guardian Angel duration was reduced by 1 second, 0.5, and then the same early game nerf. Just to stop Omni-Knight from just suddenly winning the game at 6. I mean, that's fine.
Omni-Knight is pretty strong. It's one of the stronger offlanes as well, by the way.
He's just a really good offlaner.
He's no stuns, but he just contributes so much in the fight that it's just impossible to deal with.
I think that he's not as strong as he used to be way back in the day, but he's good.
He's better, I feel. I think Repel is actually a worse skill compared to Heavenly Grace. Status resistance any day is better than BKB because, for example, you have BKB piercing spells.
Alright, so Heavenly Grace is better, was better, until they nerfed it so that most spells don't pierce BKB anymore, because they've taken a lot of those out.
True.
So, honestly, if he had Repel as it used to be, with the fact that most spells don't pierce, I think it would probably be better, but it's hard to say. They both have benefits.
I think Heavenly Grace is good. And besides, it acts like a repel when you put it on someone.
Heavenly Grace cooldown was increased dramatically at earlier levels. Honestly, this kills offlane Omni. Because the fact that he has to wait an additional 9 seconds to get the bonus strength and HP regen on someone.
It does.
That's dramatic.
You can't solo lane Omni. It's really hard now.
Yeah, that's really, really, really difficult. Because you want to be maxing Purification or back and forth between Heavenly Grace and Purification. Heavenly Grace is just so crap now until you get to the max level. Like, that's so pain.
I wouldn't say super crap. I mean, it's harsh until like level 3. Then level 3 is manageable, I would say.
The problem is it has less than 50% uptime at level 1. Level
1 and 2 is harsh, yes. But once you get to level 3, then it's alright. Which reminds me, you might even go the 2301 build, by the way, by level 6.
Maybe.
Because remember, Heavenly Grace does give extra strength, so
it does,
and health regen. So you can forego getting the purification, but you just like the burst healing and burst damage. But over this, I think it's worth it. You go 2-2-1 instead of 2-2-1.
I just think it's gonna be hard to offlane as Omni now. Movement speed was reduced by 5 on Oracle. That's just a nice quality of life because Oracle's annoying. He's really strong. He's one of the strongest sports in the game, so needed.
I mean, he can play aggressive. The only issue about Oracle is that Oracle cannot handle if the carry is not aggressive.
The thing now too is that it's hard for Oracle to be in position to save his carry and not get killed now, because it's harder for him to get back to safety.
Right. You know, I play Oracle. I play with you. Our lanes tend to succeed if you're playing a carry that can at least go aggressive. Our lanes tend to fail a lot if you're picking a carry that.
Well, you need to stop playing Oracle when I play heroes like Spectre and Anti-Mage then.
Well, here's the thing. I pick first. You pick last. So how you expect me to pick
Fair.
for you? That's the thing. So.
Sane's Eclipse mana drain was reduced by 10%. That was needed. I hate the fact that he just manas you out crazily.
I mean, remember, it's max mana, by the way. So regardless of how much mana you have, you're gonna lose 40% regardless.
Yeah. I'm just glad. This is a nice nerf. Talent change from movement speed to 350 mana. So this means he does more damage with
I like the point that OD is a very speedy boy because he buys a lot of speedy items.
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of the move speed though. That was too strong.
Is it Kaya Yasha? He always goes back, so he's really quick.
What's the mana even do for him? He does percentage on Q, right?
Yeah. I
Of
guess
mana pool?
It stops it. I mean, I guess it basically stops him from running out of mana.
No. His Q does percentage of total mana pool as damage, right?
Yeah, it does.
So he can do more damage now, taking the 350 mana talent. But
not as
honestly, not nearly as good as move speed. Like,
mobility, yes.
I'm way happier he has the mana instead. Like,
the issue of OD basically has is that if you catch him out, he has very little to get away, basically, other than his W, which is his Astro.
yeah,
And
this is a huge nerf.
Yeah, because OD is amazing at chasing people down, as well with the movement speed talent, as well as basically running away. Now he's not so much.
You know when this is gonna stink though? When OD has a BKB and blinks into your team because he's gonna do more damage now.
And by the time your game is over.
Yeah, game's over. Apparently there's a bug with Stuffing Dagger not slowing for long enough, so that's good for PA, I guess. Spirit Lance mana cost was reduced because PL just isn't played enough. I think this is kind of nice because it means he can spam more. So good.
He's a shit carry.
His health talent went up.
Yeah, do you know why? Because popular offlaners or popular, roamers destroy PL. So PL
I love this now. I love taking the health talent as PL, so now it's 25 extra health to my
What's
pool.
the other talent anyway?
Spirit Lance damage.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's great.
No, it's good if you go an Ags build, but like, who goes an Ags build? Stupid. Soul Catcher mana cost was increased because it's a really good spell. Good. Harder for Shadow Demon to manage his mana pools is a really big nerf.
I mean, at level 1, you could Shadow Catcher someone, and they lose a lot of health.
Scarf Mage. Yeah, no, it's a
Kill
huge
them.
amount of health. It's a huge amount of health. I'm glad it costs more. It needed. Scarf Mage attack range was increased by 25. I'm disgusted by this, honestly. It's not like he's not a ridiculous support. He does have his weaknesses with no stuns, but just the fact that he can harass even more in lane now. So, like, the reason I'm not usually afraid of Skywrath is because I'm like, okay, support, trade with Skywrath. I know he's gonna burst you a little bit, but you trade with him in right clicks. Now Skywrath is gonna be further away, still trading right clicks, and just winning. So he's just gonna push my support out of lane. That's what he does. He just comes in and just makes a support leave. I'm like, cool, now I'm a solo carry versus 2. Great. This makes him really strong. Like, I hate this.
Kind of allows him to trade back to a Bane as well.
Slaughter Corrosive Haze cast point was reduced by 0.05. That's a really small reduction, so it's, you're really not going to notice in games, but it's nice. It makes it faster. Cast range was increased at later levels. That's really big. That's huge. Screw Slaughter. Stop buffing Slaughter. I hate him.
On the contrary, Mitchell likes him, and you won a game when you played it, so...
Hate Slaughter. Charge of Darkness cooldown increased dramatically. Oh my gosh. Buy Spirit Breaker.
No, I wouldn't say buy. It's just that you have to be a bit more careful with your charges early on.
Here's the problem. Spirit Breaker charges mid. Realizes the charge isn't going to work. Doesn't want to finish the charge because he'll go too close, right? Stops halfway in the lane. He has to wait 6 extra seconds before he can charge anywhere. Meaning he's not getting experience. He's not getting gold. He's in the middle of the freaking map. That's going to reduce his total XP.
I'll be honest. If you stop halfway, you're in the middle of nowhere, man. By the time you walk anywhere to look around or look towards lane, your cooldown's off. I don't think it's too harsh of a cooldown.
I think he's still playable. I just think this is dramatic. He's going to be at a lower level and have less money.
I don't think it's that bad. I'll be honest.
I think it's gonna gently reduce his win rate. That's all. Base strength reduced by 1 on Sven. Good. Less health. 20 less health. less health regen, 1 less damage, less magic resistance. God Strength cooldown was increased by 10. Good. Screw Sven. He was one of the best carries. This won't.
He's one of the
This
stronger carries.
probably
now.
won't change that, but it helps. Oh, please, Underlord buffs. Underlord buffs. Pitamalis mana cost was reduced. That's so funny. Pitamalis cooldown was reduced. I can't. All right. Tell me that Underlord is not the best offlaner. Clearly.
I would say he's the third best offlaner at the moment. Not
Who's the best?
Beastmaster.
Who's the second?
Second, in my opinion, is actually Omni Knight. Funny enough.
I think Omni Knight just got nerfed. No, thank you.
I mean, I need to play him to find out. But I say Beastmaster. Underlord, the reason why I don't say he's the best, he's very susceptible to what you call tri-lane. Very, very susceptible.
You just stay back.
With,
The problem is that people aren't playing in good positions when they're playing Underlord.
The problem is with Underlord, if you're playing against a tri-lane, you get screwed really hard. And if you stay back, you are not going to do anything for the rest of the game because Underlord does not play very well from behind. He needs to be either even or ahead. He cannot play from behind. And the way I play Underlord is that I play him aggressive. So if I'm playing against, let's say, the only issue I might have against maybe a Juggernaut, but even Juggernaut gets screwed by him.
So I think this change though on Pit of Malice means you can spam it more, meaning you're safer against a tri-lane because you can cast it more.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it until level 7.
You don't take Pit of Malice till 7?
Maybe at level 5.
You're playing Underlord wrong.
4. No. I only pick it at level 4. Get 1 level.
Honest?
That's just it.
I would take Firestorm level 1, Pit of Malice level 2.
Then
I would never level it again. Keep it level 1 until like 8, whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I would have that level.
I don't like that because the reason is that you're giving up a lot of damage and you're giving up a lot of harass.
But that's the reason that you're getting killed against tri-lanes. You need Pit of Malice.
Okay, against tri-lanes maybe, but it's mana waste. Number one, Underlord doesn't really have a good of a mana pool.
It only costs 80 now.
I know, but it's still not a good enough mana pool. You'll be spamming your Firestorm a lot more.
No, I know. I know that you're going to cast a lot. I'm just saying that Pit of Malice is a big deal.
The reason why I go E at the level 2 is because not only the damage reduction you take, you also gain damage with creeps dying, and you can right-click out harass.
All I know is I'm playing Underlord now as offlane when I play offlane.
Go for it. I mean, you don't get the chance.
I will admit that Beastmaster is probably a better offlaner, though. I will take that.
Beastmaster is better. I'm not too sure.
It's the two of, in my opinion, two of them clearly better than anybody else.
I mean, I might put Centaur above Underlord, but I think I prefer Underlord for the harass you can do give.
Centaur just got nerfed. I don't want to hear
Which is
any
why
of
I
that.
yelled at Daedrixion for not using his Firestorm when the enemy carry was going up to do last hit. Firestorm is amazing.
And Daedrixion's beyond help. I'm sorry.
See that? Come on.
He just won't cast. He just won't cast it.
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Advantage base increased by 2. I mean, she had a plenty mana pool. It's just nice. It's just nice to be able to cast
more.
more.
It's a nice buff. I mean, she's still good support.
Yeah, she's always going to be good. Base damage increased by 2 on Viper. This means last hitting, denying, and harassing are very big for Viper in mid lane now. That's really annoying. That's really annoying.
The chair is going to be happy about this.
Yeah, that's true. 10 his talent and 10 increased in attack speed. I mean, honestly,
I mean, he flaps his wings faster.
It makes it more desirable. The spell Lifesteal is really big right now. It makes it a little bit more tempting to take the attack speed.
I don't think I'll go attack speed.
I don't think I would either, but it's slightly more tempting.
I mean, here's the thing. Spell Lifesteal. What do 3 of your main spells do? Spell damage.
No, I know. I'm saying I agree with you. I'd take the spell Lifesteal, but it makes it a little more tempting to take attack speed. The 15 talent
does that spell damage.
Honestly,
does spell damage.
I used to like to take the corrosive skin stats. Now I would only take it against heavy magic users. That attack range is too good to pass up.
Yeah, attack range is fine.
It's freaking Dragon Lance.
If you build a Dragon Hurricane Pike out of it, you get even.
You attack from sniper range now.
Attack range, yeah.
They're gonna buff visage, aren't they? Grave Shield duration is now always at its maximum.
That's a massive buff, by the way. I like that.
Early Grave Shield's so good. Movement speed changed to scale, though, so now you have a reason to upgrade it, because before your reason was the Grave Shield duration.
17% is quite high. 17 is still quite a bit.
Attack speed change now also scales up. Okay, so the duration is high early, like it didn't used to be, but the movement speed and attack speed scale up. Oh, they scale better at the max level. That's kind of nice.
Yes. Honestly, I think this.
Late game Visage buff, early game you're incentivized to level up Grave Chill, but I still think I wouldn't.
I mean, it allows for more aggressive plays, if you ask me. By the way, because having 6 seconds of the duration
Yeah,
for extra
it's
movement
huge.
speed, you get a lot. You get 3 seconds to play around with more aggressiveness and still play defensive at the same time if you want to.
Think about this. So some heroes have like a small escape, right? Like Shadow Demon, right? Oh, I'm gonna disrupt you for a second. Before, it was 6 seconds of 32, which felt like a lot. Obvious. Sorry, it was 3 seconds of 32. The slow's gone by the time you're done being disrupted, basically. Now it's 6 seconds. As much as the slow is not as much, if you disrupt, it's still on you when you get out. You're still slowed. You're not going anywhere.
So it allows for more aggressive plays, basically. So
support Visage is gonna love this. Carry Visage.
I think you like it as more as carry Visage.
As carry Visage, I just don't think you're gonna get that many kills off Grave Chill with the slow being less. But
Just
late
so you know,
game, mid to late game, that increased attack change at level 4 and the increased percentage, that's really nice.
Okay.
Like, you're
also,
never
you
going to
need
get away. So Visage running around at level, like, 12-ish, the game's over. Honest. You just
also,
die.
You need to look at this, that it is 3 seconds off the cooldown as well.
Yeah, that's what...
that.
Well, I just mean a mid-lane Visage. I just feel like the extra...
No, mid-lane Visage. Okay, so here's what you do. You cast it. You get extra attack speed, extra move speed. That allows you to get last hits, denies, and harass at the same time. Quicker. All at the same time, the enemy is having less movement speed, less attack speed. So they can't attack, they have to change their attack pattern to get last hits and denies. They have to change their
Okay, you're
movement.
right. The increased duration makes it easier to deny and last hit. That's pretty big.
You win
Fair.
lanes, mid lane.
I think that's the only factor on this that improves mid lane up until you get many levels though. At that point, mid game Visage, you will never get away. The extra 3%, you just don't leave.
It's scary, I'll be honest.
I'm afraid. Visage is really strong. Always has been.
Well, this has made him stronger.
Strength gain increased from 1.8 to 2 in Weaver. Just a tankier Weaver. It's nice. It just makes it more tempting to play
no
Weaver.
One's playing Weaver these days, unfortunately.
That's the thing. I think this is nice though. It's more likely that you get.
I mean, they're better elusive carries at the moment. Slug's coming back, by the way, because people are learning how to build him.
This is like 4 health per level. Is that what that equals out to?
About that.
Yeah, 4 health per level. Skeleton health was reduced dramatically.
So
wow.
They don't push too hard.
And the talent reduced their damage by 5. Oh, that's a big nerf. Honest.
I mean, to be fair, Wraith King is pretty strong.
Split push Wraith King is not great anymore.
I mean, to be fair, he does not even a split push. You just summon skeletons and then you throw a stun, supports die.
No, I'm saying trying to go Wraith King and going skeleton damage and 2x skeleton spawn, which I don't see often, but people who try to do that, I would never bother now. It's not even worth it.
I mean, you always grab the damage, regardless. You always grab the skeleton damage, I feel. The spawn, 2x spawn, very rarely anyone takes that talent.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would not take the third. Well, because no reincarnation mana cost is so big. But
you don't need 16 skeletons. You have already 8, which is good enough.
With the skeletons being this weak, dude, I don't even know if I'd bother the damage. They'll never get it off.
Because remember,
the 15 strength is a lot of health. That's what I'm thinking.
By the way, do you know the skeleton stack? So basically, after you summon the 8 skeletons, you crit, you get skeletons, the cooldown goes off, you can summon another 8 skeletons. So what's the point of having 2x skeleton? It's just maybe you get it later, slightly later, but...
Well, the cooldown is the issue.
Yes, cooldown's not that bad.
You have to picture that taking 15 strength is 30 damage, and 300 health, 15 damage, and magic resistance. I think now it's tempting, to be honest with you. It's tempting. It's so easy to kill a skeletons. One wave clear ability gone.
Talent, by the way, if I remember.
It's skeleton damage versus 15 strength.
I'll take the 15 strength, man. That's damage, health, and
yeah, but you were saying before that you'd want to take the skeleton damage. I wouldn't.
No,
anymore.
I wouldn't take. I would take the man. Skeleton damage can be taken. What about the 2x skeleton?
No, reincarnation mana cost is too valuable.
Oh, that one's too good. No, you don't.
It's too good. Like, you can't not.
I mean, you still can get 15 strength, but to be fair, Wraith King, if you die, you die. You come back alive and you're back again. So,
I think this is gonna change the you're not gonna see skeletons really that often anymore. It's gonna be right click Wraith King. Zeus, his ult went up in damage.
I mean,
25 at all levels. The mana cost went up at earlier levels, but that's not a big deal.
it's
Wow.
still not picked.
I mean, this matters, though. 25 at max at all levels times 5 for all the heroes. That's 125 damage swing. And we know that in pro games, 125 damage swing, like 125 damage, is a lot.
In pro games, however, Zeus is too susceptible to be ganked. Okay, so
Okay, so here's the thing, though. If Zeus manages to last till 6, I can't imagine pros not immediately getting a double kill in their lane.
here's the thing. I can imagine that because the reason being is they'll hit 6 by level 15 by 15 minutes. You know why? They get ganked constantly by, for example, a Spirit constantly ganks them. By a Tusk constantly ganks them. He's too susceptible, and number one, and number two, they will definitely, if he gets to get a very bad lane matchup, and the most popular lane matchups are like, what do you call?
Viper.
TA, Lina, TA. Those heroes wreck Zeus in lane. They absolutely destroy Zeus.
Yeah.
So if they get a hit, Zeus is not gonna matter even if he has that.
I'm just saying, if they build a team comp around protecting Zeus and get him to 6,
yeah, it can work, but it's scary because
yeah, it is.
Like,
I think the biggest.
kind of...
I was gonna say, like, I don't want to dwell too much on Zeus because who cares? But
Yeah.
biggest changes in my opinion. Goodbye, cutting axe, not nearly as good.
Creep cutting hero. Just saying.
Hurt to a lot of offlaners like Centaur and Omni Knight and Darkseer.
I mean, Darkseer doesn't even care about it. I'll be honest.
Oh, and Enigma, because Enigma offlanes too, and they reduce midnight pulse. It's not a big deal, but
Midnight pulse.
I know it's a weakness to the hero, though. I'm not saying in the lane, but the hero that goes off lane.
Okay. Yeah,
Like, for example, if
even
you
Centaur.
ruined Centaur's level 2 and level 3 ult, it doesn't affect the lane, but it ruins the hero that you'd be like,
Yeah,
maybe I
that
don't want to play
ruins the hero.
Centaur because, like, he sucks later. You know what I mean?
Honestly, laning wise, what heroes that got affected the most, I would say, not Beastmaster, by the way. Centaur, 100%.
Omni.
Darkseer until he hit, Omni definitely. Darkseer until he hit level 3. That's only 2 heroes.
Well, Centaur and Omni are big. Darkseer's a little bit. So that's,
No, Darkseer's until he hit level 3. Level 3 is business as usual.
I'm saying it's a little
After
bit.
that.
It's a little bit of a nerf to his lane. So that's a little bit hurt to the offlane as a total. Some of the roamers are better, which, technically speaking, changes the way the game's played because you can only roam if your offlaner can survive. So that's
Absolution's heroes as well got nerfed. 2 of them.
yeah. Well, buff my heroes because I like play Bounty. I like to play Mirana. Underlord is my go-to offlaner, and he got buffed.
Is it your go-to? Because I
He's the only offlaner I like to play, to be honest with you. I don't like to play offlaner.
I mean, not Centaur.
No, not ever since they changed his abilities.
I mean,
Not that he's bad. I just don't
amazing.
like him anymore. I just don't want to play
his
that hero.
retaliation is amazing.
No, I didn't say it's bad. I just don't want to play him anymore.
Okay, fair enough.
I never did since they changed it. There are a couple other offlaners I guess I could play.
I mean,
but...
retaliation just makes him more aggressive in lane. That's all I can say.
Oh, and Ogre. Ogre's gonna be like the sleeper coming in because I think pros are gonna recognize this too, and they're gonna play a lot more Ogre.
Yeah.
Like that attack
think
speed
they'll-
is unreasonable at 20.
There'll be more Ogre, I say.
Oh, and some of the
Also
safe lane
DotA.
supports got move speed nerfs, so it's easier to gank safe lane. For sure.
I would like to see more Death of the nerfs, please. The excellence that is.
I think she could use a very slight nerf.
I would be happy if it goes down to 1.5. That would be fine with me. Then I'll stop banning them.
I'm just
If not,
excited.
I'm still banning.
I'm excited to play Bounty because that doesn't annoy me either to play against him because like the damage is kind of minimal. It's just nice. Just like nice quality.
Okay, can I say a thing? Stop losing on streams, please.
Stop what?
Stop losing in streams.
Losing in the streams?
Yeah.
We've had a rough couple times, but it's also because the players we play with on streams. Like, look at my win rate here. This is the 4 games I played today with very particular people. 4 straight wins in ranked.
I know, I saw that. And one of them you haven't played with before. 2 of them, in fact, played that often with. So
I played with some of these people before. And they're not new to me.
you have not played with Callum and Mitchell that often. There's some.
No, not often. No. But I play with them.
No. You play with Absolution definitely. Drivo, would he abandon again? What?
Yep. He had to go.
Happy his birthday, yeah, for his mom's.
We won without him. Didn't need him. But like, here's the thing. So some of my games that I lose, not that they're not my fault, but like it depends who we're playing with, right? We leave the party pretty open, and that's just something that we accept. So like James is still finding his own way in sometimes. So I'm not blaming James, but he's still rusty, and I feel like he's behind the meta a little bit. He's getting there though. I have faith that James will hit a sweet spot. Rednet is still so rusty, and he builds like crazy. He is a nut. Like, I'm trying to remember the last game I played with Rednet. It's hard to remember, but I think every single game I played with Rednet in a while has been a loss. Every single one, without exception, minus my carry Treant, because he goes to the lane with no regen at all. You can't do that. I don't care what hero it is. There's no hero in the game you can go without regen. Bar none. So what happens is we get these random matchups, and like sometimes we lose because of that. So this Earthshaker game, that was my last loss, it's because we had randos. It was me and Daedrixion with a bunch of random people, which I did well in, mind you. I did very well. I got a crazy good echo. My Crystal Maiden game, where I supported. We were playing with some people that I don't know, and we had like zero synchronicity at all. So it was me, Absolution, and Chuck, who I don't play with often, and then two people that I just don't know at all. And I'm going to be honest, some of our picks and the way we were playing lanes was garbage. Like, we threw lanes. I did fine. Me and Absolution played safe lane. We won. We won safe lane. Every other lane was a disaster. I'm not blaming them for the disaster, because there could have been different picks across the team, of course, but it was a disaster. And I'm going to say that was why, is because we're the people we don't normally play with. This loss here, this was a good game. We did well. We got close. Like, a lot of our losses that are bad losses are because of who we play with. Like, if I play a stack with, like, Absolution, you, Afro, and Furry, we're probably going to win. Honest.
Well, you're missing your solid offlaner?
You're my offlaner, obviously.
Yeah, you're missing your offlaner.
You did hurt our percentages, for sure. Well, it depends who I play with, right? You can see my win rates, too. Like, there's people that I win more or less likely with.
To be fair, I'll be honest. Daedrixion can play offlane, it's just that he doesn't play aggressive enough at the right time. He can.
He doesn't play enough. He just doesn't play Dota very often anymore, and so he's just kind of, his skills are atrophying.
That's fine. I mean...
I'm not trying to defend him, I'm just saying that's the reason why.
I mean, to be fair, who else plays a lot offlane? Not many other people do they?
James.
Yeah, but...
My win rate with James is garbage. 47.9. Well,
playing roam more.
I know. Win rates tell you everything, right? Afro, 58. We're doing well. Thor, 49.9. Terrible. James, 47.9. Terrible. Daedrixion, just on the cusp of 50, which is not good. And Furry is barely positive. Dracus is actually 55, which is great. Dreevil's 53. I'm shocked it's not negative yet. I've been losing. I honestly lose most of my games with Dreevel nowadays. Rednet's 52.5. It's been dropping. We used to win games back in the old days. It's been dropping ever since I started playing with him again. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying it's his fault or my fault. I'm just saying something about that matchup has been going down. Absolution, 66. Where are you at? Oh, Falcon, 56. That's pretty good. So me, you, Absolution, we win. Afro, we win. Funny enough, Jordan, Washing Machine, where is he? We win all the time. 85.7.
How many games?
21.
Not enough, though,
It's not a lot, but that's a good win rate.
I mean, it's the same thing with Absolution. You got a lot of high percentage win rates for like 50 plus games, and then suddenly you dropped after 100.
Absolution's 220 games.
Now it's 200 something now, so
220 games for 66.4%. That is not bad.
I'm pretty sure I'm close to 150 with you at the moment.
It gives me a rating, by the way, with people. My best rating is Absolution.
Obviously.
It just tells me that straight out.
I think I have 150 games with you, I think.
284.
What?
Yeah.
More? Oh, that's a lot.
We play a lot, Falcon.
That's strange.
Imagine that. 2 times a week, 2 days a week. You play about 3 games average, I'd say. Sometimes you're not there, sometimes you play more, but 3 is about an average.
I thought Absolution would have more. That's one thing.
You've been playing with me a lot longer. That's why.
Could be.
He's closing in. I mean, he's 220 and you're 284. I mean, he's close now.
That's true because he's got 3 weeks. He's got 2 more weeks to catch up anyway. So.
Yeah, he'll catch up. He'll catch up fast because he'll get about 4. He'll probably 8 to 10 games over
A week.
1 week. So that's 16 to 20 games he'll catch up on you. So he'll be right behind you, 240-ish. This is so not on a note of the patch anyway, but this is just important to Dota in general. It's important to see the trends that you have with people because you need to change something about it. Either don't play with them or figure out why you're losing together. So in Furry, we've been working on ways to make Furry more bigger as a support. I honestly think Furry's win rate with me is going better since he's been a support. I think his play as mid is worse. Not that he's a bad mid, but he doesn't keep up. Like, if I'm playing with him and a bunch of people his MMR, even just having me in the game makes him struggle as a mid. I think that if he played by himself as a mid, things would go better, of course. But I think he's a much better support. I think he's a much better support in general. Like, I think he plays support as a higher level. He just doesn't think he does, but he does. So our win rate's been going better since. And it's our highest sample size. I mean, 635 games is a lot of games. Daedrixion, I just need to set him straight on playing off lane. I need to teach him the ways. Sometime.
What? How are you going to teach him in the first place?
How am I not going to teach him?
How are you going to teach him? That's what I'm trying to say.
What do you mean, how am I going to approach it?
Yeah.
I thought you were questioning my knowledge of offlane.
No.
That's a very different question, and your question is different than I thought, and a better question than I thought. Fair. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to him. Afro, no action need to be taken. We just win.
I mean, her support is solid. Her support's
honestly, I am always shocked that an 800 MMR person comes into my game and ruins the enemy team. I swear I'm always surprised. I go into lane, I'm playing like, I don't know, anti-mage because that's common. I'm like, Afro, just don't die. Like, let's just try to get some farm here. And then suddenly our lane goes 4-0, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. It's not me. Like, I'm playing normally. But somehow Afro is on top of it. And even when she dies, she doesn't tilt. So I'm always okay with it. I'm like, all right, at least Afro is doing fine. It's not a problem. That's something I appreciate. She listens too. Afro, go ward here. Okay. The end. End of discussion. I don't want to hear no, well, I was gonna ward there, but no. Don't give me that. Just ward there.
Don't you start.
Don't you start with your stories, you know what I mean? It's different if there was a reason you're telling me, but I don't know. Thor, I always joke about Thor, but Thor always has to throw me his life story every time I ask him to do something, even if I don't question why. If I say, why didn't you do it? Okay, defend yourself. But I'll say, hey Thor, can you ward here? Then I have to hear a life story about something about warding there, and it's just ward. Just go do it, man.
Thor. You know that's Thor, right?
I know, he's lovable. He's a lovable guy. Everybody likes Thor, but it just kills me sometimes. James, I don't know. He's getting better. He might just improve naturally, I think. He's been playing more Dota recently too, so I might just let that one play out and see what happens. He's definitely been improving. He's one of my lowest win rates, but I have faith that he's getting better, so that's fine. Although he suffers from Drevel syndrome. He thinks I'm fine if James ever hears this too, because I've said this to James. He thinks he is significantly better than he is though, and he tries to drop the hammer on other players, and it's James,
Wait. You're calling that the Drevel syndrome? Why don't you call that the Charybdis syndrome?
I'm honest where I'm at though. I am an ancient player. I could easily get to Divine, but I am an ancient player, which is a pretty high rank. I'm in the top 5% of players or whatever it is now. I am way worse than pros, and I'm way worse than Divines.
Okay, hold on. Say if you can easily get to Divine, plays one game off stream of solo Dota, get super frustrated out of 4 games.
Yo, I got so mad.
Fact, by the way.
I got so mad. You should have seen those games. They were egregious.
Oh, yeah, I did see the last 2 games, I'll be honest. So
I did well in most of them too, and they just went to a disaster. Oh man, I had to get back into solo. It was a bad start to solo. I tilted, and I had to let it go. I didn't get mad at my team. I didn't rage towards my team, but in my own head, I was tilted. Yeah. I tried to keep it internal because I know it doesn't help to get mad at them, so I was just internally ooh. One person built something ridiculous. I don't remember what it was. It was a while ago now, but I was so mad. But no, it's Drevel syndrome, because Drevel was always notorious for thinking that he's he does both things. He's no, I should be I should be ancient, but then he's ranks don't matter, and it's which one is it? You know what I mean? Drevel's not a bad player either. I easily say that Drevel is better than most of the people we play with. I'm yeah, Drevel, you're better than Infuri. Sure you are. Are you better than Daedrixion? Yeah, of course you are. Yes, I know. He's better than half the people we play with. Sure, I admit that. but he takes it further than he needs to. That's why I call it Drevel syndrome, because he always does it. He always has. And he's like, no, like, I play on the level of, like, you and Absolution. And it's like, the statistics don't lie. No, you don't. The system has a way to measure you. And, like, if you were close, if he was, like, Legend and he was claiming he was our skill, okay, you have a fair debating point, right? Sure, the system could be, like, a little bit off on where you're supposed to be. It happens. But he's not. Like, the system's not going to be, like, wrong in placing you by thousands of MMR. Like, it's just, it's not that bad. And, you know, I see that in James a little bit too, because he used to be 3K back before they lowered the, like, they made it harder to get the higher ranks, because they've done that every time the seasons come out. So just naturally, without any skill degradation, he would go down in rank, let alone the fact that he stopped playing Dota for months. So it's like, you can't just claim that you're, like, 3K anymore. Like, it takes time to get better, you know what I mean? So he's still better than a good proportion of people. Like, I'd argue James is probably still better than Daedrixion and Furry, but, like, because he has that raw amount of games that he's played, but you know what I mean? Like, he still has to, like, practice to get back to that level. So him and Drevel both suffer from that, and it kills me. Like, you, I respect, Falcon, because I know that you... Are you Legend, or are you still Arcan?
Legend.
You're Legend. You're Legend, and you're still grinding up. You don't play solo that often. It takes time to grind back up to the rank. So you probably belong in High Legend or low Ancient. I respect that.
I haven't played solo for easily 6 months now.
Right. I respect the fact that you're close enough to being an Absolution that you have a respectable opinion. Like, you know, I'm not going to lie and say that I think that you're an equivalent player to me. I would be lying. Whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. I would be lying.
That depends, though, because I do... I mean, you definitely do some roles better than I do, and I definitely do some things better than you, but, you know, overall, you do more things better than me.
Right, and despite that, I still think you have a reasonable enough input that you might be right over me. Like, you might say something, and I go, crap, you're right. Right? So I consider you a contemporary in that regard. I listen to what you say. I might disagree in the end of the conversation, but I think what you say might have merit.
Considering that we do argue a crap ton. Jesus.
Right, but, like, I'd like to hear your opinion because you have a valid opinion. I think that Absolution does too. We both respect where you're from because you're close enough to us, and it's not like we're trying to be elitist in rank, but we've seen you play. There's a reason that you're a legend. It's not like some made-up ranking system that, like, Valve laughs and just randomly slaps ranks on people. You've proven through your 284 games with me that you belong in a higher rank.
Yeah, but that depends, basically. But as I'm just saying, is that, you know, it happens. Some games are good, some games are bad.
Of course. And the thing, too, is it's funny because, like, not only have I played 284 games with you, but I've played lobby games with you, which there's been a ton, and you play in lane a lot with me. You've played safe lane support for me, like, a lot.
Yes, I have. I think we won about 80% of the time, though, safe lane support.
Like,
the only time I think we lose is that we get a really oppressive lane, or our combination of heroes don't work. Like,
or I pick a bad carry.
Oh, you pick a very passive carry, and I pick a very aggressive.
No, it's just a bad carry. I've just picked bad carries before it happens. I've been modifying my carry picks because, like, I've picked bad carries before. Just facts, like true facts. I will say the one role I know that you play better than me, factually, I guarantee you were a better offlaner. I used to be a good offlaner before they completely upheaved it.
Well, here's the thing. You need practice, basically. Because before I started playing offlaning with you guys, I played a lot more roaming comparatively. Now I feel like my roaming has gone a little bit out of touch because I've been playing so much offlaning with you guys.
So that's the thing. Like, I think your offlane is better. My offlane used to be really good back before, like, they changed a bunch of the heroes. Like, my centaur offlane was, like, solid. I used to get kills in offlane all the time solo.
I think centaur's better now, though.
No, he's different. He's different, though. So before, you could dominate a lane because the way he used to work, with double edge being magic. No, but with double edge being magic, he used to do more damage with hoof stomp.
So and the old centaur is basically, you want to come last hit, I'll double edge you. It hurts you more than it does to me.
Right, so I used to dominate lane.
The new centaur is slightly different. You take retaliate damage by getting the supports to hit you, and then you turn on retaliate and you start right-clicking the enemy carry.
Centaurs can't go double stout shield either anymore.
You don't go double stout shield anyway. The heroes that I can think that you can go double stout shield is Darkseer and
I'm just saying you could, in theory, against a tri-lane go a double stout shield.
Double stout shield on Centaur.
I don't want to. I'm not saying you should, but you could. Gone now. I would rather go Bracer, just get a fast Bracer after Stout Shield. Bracer's so good, by the way. Oh my god. You're gone. Are you still talking?
Am I go?
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, am I go? Yeah, am I good? No, I'm just trying to say is that I'd rather, instead of double Stout Shield, I'd rather put that gold into another more regen, another clarity, or a quicker boost. That's what I would
That's the thing. All right, so I hate to extend patches, but just as a general like Dota thing that I hate. So I know the most about safe lane, so but like I'm just gonna say like an example in off lane because you might disagree a little bit, which is fine. I don't mind. So an off laner that I would like to play is Underlord. So like I'm just gonna like quickly load up Underlord as a lobby just so I can use starting gold. This doesn't just apply to Underlord, but
okay. Just so you know, my standard off lane is two sets of tangos, one Salve, one Stout Shield, and one Mango. That's usually what I go for. Standard one.
That's fine. I would not judge that. I'm probably going to pick something different, but it'll be similar.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
This is a build that works in a lot of lanes and a lot of positions, but I'm going to a little bit modify just for off lane because off lane's rough.
The only time I might not do that is if I'm playing a Nyx off lane. Nyx off lane, I'll grab one Tango, one Salve, one Stout Shield, and 3 Mangoes instead.
Yep, I agree. More Mangoes is better because honestly, he already has such high regen. You basically have a Tango going always. It's literally like a Tango forever. It's crazy.
And then it might depend. It depends who I'm facing. That maybe I cut short. Okay, you're gonna hate me for saying this. I like Quelling Blades on off laners. I genuinely do.
Sometimes it can be okay.
You say sometimes. I like it generally. Number one, it stops the other off lane, other.
Oh, I can't even see it. So it's 625 gold, right?
Yeah, it's 625 gold.
So let me just test a little bit because I want to see what I want to actually get. All right, how much is that? That's 70, 180, 280, 480, 570. So I should have 55 gold left, right?
Which is, yeah, but it goes into either Quelling Blade if you get the bounty wins quite quickly.
I would either bring a Clarity to the lane, or I would save the money and get a really fast stick.
Or fast boots if you want. Depends.
So this is what I would build.
But generally for me, I like getting a Quelling Blade.
I used to hate Iron Branches. I have fallen in love with them progressively. So
Iron Branches, I treat them, if I'm a core, if I'm a core, I treat them as tango chewers, basically.
You can do that, or just the stats. I just gained 40 health from having these in my inventory. Health regen, and 2 damage, 2 attack speed, a third of an armor, like a lot of stuff, honestly. Like, do I gain an armor from this? No, I don't. Some heroes would gain an armor from having the two Iron Branches. This is like such a big deal, like just to have these. And I would come to lane like this. And if you're really in trouble, like as far as stats, like having regen or something, I would use the extra money instead of buying the Clarity I was gonna buy, and I would be ready to send myself a Salve. And I just tell my mid, like, when you need the courier, take it. And I would ask them when they need it, and I would send a Salve to fit that, basically.
By the way, general courtesy rule: if you're not mid, do not use the courier until 3 minutes minimum.
You can ask. You can see what they want to buy.
No, I don't even ask because I generally do not like using. I mean, I don't
well,
like
sometimes I use the courier in the first 10 seconds, and I'll ask them if that's cool.
Generally, that's fine, but if you're saying like when you're in the laning phase, because first 10 seconds you're not in the laning phase yet, you haven't even started hitting creeps yet, basically. You'll probably start hitting creeps at 25 seconds or something like that. But generally, do not do it because for the fact that courier has to travel a long way comparatively if you just go to mid.
No, of course.
And by the time they get back, generally the ball might be late by at least.
Oh, if I'm playing, by the way, if I'm playing a solo offlane Underlord, I would buy an extra set of tangos instead.
Yeah, as I said, 6 tangos, 1 Salve, 1 Stout Shield, and 1 what do you call mango.
I would go Iron Branches instead.
I mean, I prefer the mango because I like the burst mana. Number 1, if they, for example, have a.
If it's a tri lane, I don't think the mana's gonna matter. That's the thing. I don't think
that.
No,
if it's a tri lane, but if it's a tri lane, always get a magic stick.
Right. Well, I'm saying I'm still gonna get a magic. That's why I have the 2 Iron Branches. It's gonna go into a 1 at some point.
But generally, I like the mango because burst mana is nice. I like the passive health regen as well. Also, because Underlord tends to spam spells, if you tend to spam spells, you need the mango more than anything until you get soul ring.
No, sometimes. I'm just saying in general. I usually... It depends on exactly what I'm going to build. Either way, I've definitely left this patch going on long enough. So that was a big...
Yes, I was about to say,
hour and 20 minutes. It's crazy. I need to go to bed, like, so hard. Either way, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. I'm not going to raid another stream. I'm sorry. So, peace out, everyone.